So you should try these questions by yourself first. There's only 6 questions. Once you've tried them, then I'll go through the answers one by one. So in order to answer these questions, we'll have to look at this inequality in 2 parts. So first of all, let's imagine that the left side of the inequality was not there. So we're essentially solving just this bit of the inequality first. So to get the x on its own, it means I have to get rid of this plus 1 first. To do that, I have to take away 1 on the left hand side, take away 1 on the right hand side. So that means on the left hand side, the plus 1 and the minus 1 cancels out, leaving with just 2x. And on the right hand side, 13 take away 1 is 12. And then just copy the sign down. And now to get the x on its own, I have to divide both sides by 2. So divide by 2 on the left and divide by 2 on the right. So now on the left hand side, the times 2 and the divide 2 cancels out, leaving with just x. And 12 divided by 2 on the right is equal to 6. So we now know x has to be less than 6. So that's 1/2 of the equation done. So to get the other half now, we have to imagine this bit here doesn't exist. And we have to solve this bit of the equation. So just to keep it tidy, I'll write the inequality on this side again. So 7 has to be less than 2x plus 1. So because I want the x on its own, I have to get rid of this plus 1 first. To do that, I have to take away 1 on the right hand side, I have to take away 1 on the left hand side. So that means on the left hand side, 7 take away 1 is equal to 6. And on the right hand side, the plus 1 and the minus 1 is cancelled out, leaving with just 2x. As this, and copying the sign down. Now to get this x on its own, I have to divide both sides by 2 to get rid of that 2. So I have to divide by 2 here, I have to divide by 2 on the left. So on the left hand side, 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. Copy the sign down. The times 2 and the divide 2 is cancelled out, leaving just x. So now I can see from the first part of my working out, x is less than 6. And with the second bit of my working out, I can see that x is greater than 3. So now I have to join these 2 bits up. So as you can see, I could have just copied this over here. So if I copy this first, so 3 should be less than x. I don't have to copy this x down again. I can just write like this. So this bit here, tells me that x has to be greater than 3, which I've got here. And this bit here tells me x has to be less than 6, which I have here. So the final answer is this here. If you don't understand that, rewind the video and watch it again. So question B now. So again, we're going to look at it as if it's 2 equations. The first equation is there, and the second equation will be this bit here. So we're going to look at 2 separate equations to start off with. So first of all, we can pretend this side doesn't exist. So to solve this now, we have 5 has to be less than 3x minus 1. So now to get the x on its own, I have to get rid of this minus 1 here. So to do that, I have to add 1 to both sides. So if I add 1 to both sides, the minus 1 and the plus 1 cancels out on the right hand side, leaving just 3x. Copy the sign down, and 5 add 1 here on the left hand side is equal to 6. And now to get the x on its own, I have to get rid of this times 3, so that means I have to divide by 3 on the right hand side and then divide by 3 on the left hand side too. So now on the left hand side, 6 divided by 3 is just 2. Copy the sign down, the times 3 and divide 3 cancels, that means just the x. So x has to be greater than 2. To do the second bit of the equation, we have to pretend or imagine for a moment the left bit doesn't exist. So now if I copy that down, 3x minus 1 has to be greater than 14. So now to get this x on its own, I have to get rid of the minus 1. I have to get rid of this minus 1, so that means I have to add 1 to this side, so I have to add 1 to this side. So now the minus 1 and the plus 1 cancels out, that leaves me 3x, and then 14, add 1 on the right hand side, is equal to 15. Now I have to divide by 3 on both sides to get this x on its own. So to get the x on its own, I have to get rid of this times 3, so that means I have to divide by 3 here, divide by 3 here. So the times 3 and the divide 3 cancels out, leaving me just x. And here on the right hand side, 15 divided by 3 is just 5. And then just copy the sign down. So x has to be less than 5. So now what we have to do is combine this and this. So I can see that on this bit here gives me 2 has to be less than x, and this bit here is telling that x has to be, so this bit here, x has to be greater than 2. So this bit here is telling me that x has to be greater than 2. So I've copied that down, and this bit here is telling me that x has to be less than 5. So I've already got the x, so I just copy the sign down. So this is the answer. So this bit here is telling me that x has to be greater than 2, and this bit here is telling me that x has to be less than 5. So to do question C, we have to look at two equations. The first bit of the equation would be this bit here, which I'm going to copy down. So this bit here with the sign 19 we're going to ignore for the time being. So you don't need to do any of this for you working out, this is for me to demonstrate. So the first thing to do as part of working out is copy this down. This bit here, minus 1 has to be less than 5x plus 4. So to solve that and to get the x on its own, I have to get rid of this plus 4 here first. So I have to take away 4 from both sides like this. So now on the left hand side, I'll have minus 1 minus 4, so this here, minus 1 minus 4, which is minus 5. Copy the sign down, and on the right hand side the plus 4 and the minus 4 cancels out, leaving with just 5x. Now to get the x on its own, I have to get rid of this times 5. In order to do that, I have to divide by 5 on both sides. So once I do that, on the right hand side, minus 5 divided by 5 is just minus 1. Copy the sign down. The times 5 and the divide 5 cancels out, leaving just x. So now we've just figured out that from the left side, we have x has to be greater than minus 1. Now to continue, we're going to look at the other half of the equation now. So we're going to ignore this bit for time being. So let's copy the right hand side down. So 5x plus 4 is to be greater than or equal to 19. So to get the x on its own, I have to get rid of this plus 4 here first. To do that, I have to take away 4 on both sides. So on the left hand side, the plus 1 and the minus 4 cancels out, leaving me just 5x. And on the right hand side, 19 take away 4 is 15, and just copy the sign down. Now to get the x on its own, I have to get rid of this times 5. So I have to divide by 5 on the left, and I have to divide by 5 on the right. So the times 5 and divide 5 cancels out, leaving just x, and 15 divided by 5 is just 3. So now we know x has to be equal to or less than 3 is the answer to the second part of the equation. But now we have to merge these two bits. So the left hand side, this here tells me that x is greater than minus 1, so minus 1 here. So x is greater than minus 1. And I've already got the x already written down, so I just have to copy this bit down here. So x has to be equal to or less than 3. So this is the final answer. So x has to be greater than minus 1, which is told up by this bit, and then this bit tells us here that x has to be equal to or less than 3.